So I'm out here on a job today in Milson's Point for a customer who called me up because they couldn't find any sockets in the house. So you can see there, the overseas visitors, that train line there runs straight over there, and that's the Harbour Bridge. Alright, so, but yeah, it's an art gallery here. Now, well, they turned it into one. So this used to be offices, right? And there was like data ports everywhere here and then the upstairs level. But they got whoever to remove them, or Sparkies or whatever. And then they said they couldn't find anywhere to plug any phones in, or for their router to plug in. But what I've discovered when I come out here last Thursday or Friday, that they had a wide area network Comscope, right? So they had one of these here, and you can see they've chopped the fibre, and then they've just chopped all the Ethernet cables, right? So after spending a bit of time here trying to work out what the hell was going on, I found that there was a cable on the other side of this wall, which I'll show you in a tick. So I want to have the router somewhere out here. So what I found, if you have a look up here, you can see there's all data cables, all those cables that are running back to that point. That's what I've done, is I found these ones here. They were hidden inside this piece of ducting, and then I'm just testing them to find which one goes back to where we just were. So this is the wall where I was in the other room. So it's sort of like a little mechanical area. And this is the cable that I just pushed through, right? So it's just, you can see, it's like that 10 pair. And so I put a tone on it, went down to the MDF and found it down there. And then this cable here, so they just basically chopped heaps of stuff that they didn't know what it was. But that one was going through the wall. So now what I'm doing, I pulled this one out because they've chopped it all off. I don't know what that was actually being used for. You can see that one's going down the riser as well. And then I'm putting in my cable. Well, the cable that was here was just coiled up and just taped up to this. So I'm pushing that through into that room now, and then and then I'm going to use that to join to Ethernet cable, one of those Ethernet cables that goes back to a socket out the front. So I'll show you that in a tick. Alright, so there's my 10 pair, and that was just the other side of the wall. So now there's already a ducting here, so what I'm going to do is bring up this ducting, and I sort of want to get it onto this tray maybe. Somehow I've got to get it up into here, right? Because what I found after testing every single one of these to try and find a tone on it, I found my tone on this one, which is going back to a socket where they're going to have the reception. So I've got to pull this one up into the sealing part in here, and then I want to do a join on that onto this. You know, I'm not going to stick an MDF or anything on the wall here. Because I don't want to try and keep it clean as possible in this room for some reason. So, yeah. They did have a fibre, had a wide area network here, which would have been brilliant, but as you can see, they've chopped everything off. And then realised later, they've got no service. Okay. So, then at the front of the building here, cool lights. That's where our socket's going to be. That's the one that I found here. Right. And then you can see they had all data cables run in from the office. It was all connected to that WAN service. Now they're going on NBN because they don't have the bandwidth. They don't need the bandwidth. Alright, so I've got it to here. So I know with the regs you can go 1 metre parallel, and that's not a metre, it's only about 500-600 there. So you can see they've obviously had the cable there before they pulled it out. So I'll take that up into the ceiling using there. So it's not running a metre, it's like only running about 600 in parallel to that power. So that should be fine, all within regs. Yeah. So I'm down here in the MDF now. Basically, I've got my pair coming to here. You can hear it. All right. So I've got that coming to this block. So that's from that cable that you've seen on that floor when I was up there in the actual gallery. Telstra's giving me a channel pair. Right, so I've put it into the channel pair here. And then I've put this up into the router. Now we've got sync on that. So now I'll give Telstra a call. They can clear this to make sure that it's all working on their end and they can see it. And then Telstra will book that off, and then once they've done that, I'll run some jumpers. That will send the signal back up to that cable that I was working on. And then I can continue from that point, finishing off the job. So that's the same CommScope like fibre that they seen up on the floor that they had, where it had been severed. Anyway. Okay, so now I've put my piece of ducting on, and then got that going up there. So it's only like 500. I just measured it. And so instead of taking it this way up here, I would have had to go underneath those. I just wanted to avoid that. So, you know, it's not the prettiest, but it's hidden and it's sort of up in here. It's just like a little, you know, where they keep crap and stuff, you know. So that's that. Now I've got my cable here, and my pair identified on this one. So what I'll do now is I'll chop these cable ties off, which I used just to hold these together while I was testing them. And I'll pull this one back up into the ceiling up here, and I'll do my join, and then that'll take the signal out to where we're going to put the socket where they're going to have the reception. So this is up in the ceiling here. You can see, but you can see where all the data cables are coming in, and then I found the one that I need to pull. So let me get him. I'll just pull him up. Okay. Alright. It's getting a little stuck coming up through that hole, so what I'll do is I'll just chop the cable here. Right. And then I'll do the join on a nice fresh piece of copper. Alright, so now I've joined the Cat 5 to the 10 pair here. I always like to put a bit of tape when I do that, so if somebody tries to pull it, it's not going to pull on the actual Scotch locks here. It'll just pull where the tape is. And now I'll feed this all back up into the ceiling there with the rest of the mess, and they should have now the single out where I want to put the socket. Now I've shoved all the cables back in the wall, so they can patch that up or do whatever they want with it. But that's me done in this room now. Now let's go put a socket on. So I would have liked to, you know, put a mounting block here where these ones are. But what I'm going to do instead, because there's not enough length on this to get down there, right? So I'm just going to bring it out here. I'm just going to put like a little skirting one on, so it's just not very big, and because they're going to put a desk up against here, so no one's going to see it. But yeah, I don't want to do another join. I just want to have that one piece of cable, so I'll just whack a little skirting one on here, so it's almost invisible, and then that's it. Plug it in, test it. Alright, that's it. So we've got the internet working there, got sync on that, on the Wi-Fi, and we've also got the phones working. There's my little socket there. Alright, so that's all ready to go for them. So I'll just go do a speed test now, and we'll see how we go. Hey guys, it's Jason here from Telecom. So if you're in need of some internet help, whether that is getting a fault fixed up like a bridge tap, or you have some sort of an issue on your NBN service, or maybe you need to have some new cabling and sockets installed, we provide a range of services to help you out. There'll be some links underneath this video, and you can click on those links and I'll take you through to our website where you can book my service. All right, thank you very much. Goodbye.